the horror injury that has ended a rising NRL Stars season and ignited calls for major rule change. South Sydney Rising star Dayne Jennings has been ruled out for the rest of the season after a gruesome leg wound became infected, forcing him to undergo multiple operations. The 18-year-old suffered the horrific injury during the Rabbitohs 26-20 for victory over the Newcastle Knights at Accor Stadium in round 19 on July 12. Jennings was tracking back in defense when Dominic Young's boots accidentally caught his leg, leaving a deep cut stretching from his thigh across his knee. The laceration required 35 stitches, but his condition worsened after the wound became infected.
Wet boots ruining your mornings? This silent, fanless dryer gently dries boots, shoes, and gloves overnight while helping reduce damp odors, so your gear is ready when you are. Want to get the best verified deal and see full details? Visit grabdeal.us/4 right now.
Jennings spent more than a week in hospital and underwent several surgical procedures to clean and close the injury. Rabbitohs coach Wayne Bennett revealed the rookie had since returned to the club, but remained unable to run. Dayne Jennings suffered a horrific leg laceration during South Sydney's narrow round 19 victory over the Newcastle Knights. The 18-year-old required 35 stitches after Newcastle Knights winger Dominic Young's boots accidentally sliced open his thigh and lower leg, while he tracked back defensively, sparking calls for metal boot pegs to be banned in the NRL. Jennings' wound later became infected, and he underwent multiple surgical procedures as doctors repeatedly cleaned and stitched the serious wound crossing his damaged knee. "He's back now, but he's not running yet," Bennett said. "I don't think we'll see much of him before the season's over." It's a pretty serious injury he's got there. NRL physio also provided an alarming update, explaining why the location of the wound had complicated Jennings' recovery. Dayne Jennings may not play again this season after a significant laceration in his leg became infected, resulted in a week in hospital and multiple surgical procedures to wash out and stitch up. Was such a nasty cut to begin with, and in a tricky spot passing over the knee, adding an infection in the mix is brutal luck. Wish Jennings the best with his recovery. Graphic photographs showing the extent of the laceration stunned rugby league supporters after they appeared online. Some fans questioned how a football boot could cause such a deep wound, with many calling for metal studs to be banned in the NRL. Who had the sharp studs on their boots? "That is a nasty gash," one supporter wrote. The setback brought a brutal end to a rapid first-grade rise for Jennings, who progressed from South Sydney's SG Ball Cup side into the NRL. There is no evidence that Dominic Young used illegal footwear or deliberately caused the injury. The contact was described as accidental. "I still can't believe metal studs are legal," another posted. A third asked, "Who had the razor blade on the field?" Another fan compared the injury to an animal attack, writing, "How can that happen on a football field? Looks like a shark bite." There is no evidence that any player used illegal footwear or deliberately caused the injury. The contact was described as accidental. Players are permitted to wear metal screw-in studs, provided they meet the sport's safety requirements, including having rounded edges and a tip at least 8 mm in diameter to reduce the risk of injury. Referees can also order players to change their boots if the studs are damaged or considered dangerous before or during a match. The setback brought a brutal end to Jennings' rapid rise to first grade after progressing from South Sydney's SG Ball Cup side into the NRL. The Terrigal Sharkies Jr. made his official debut against Parramatta in round 17 after previously being named as South Sydney's 18th man. He scored his maiden NRL try in his second appearance against reigning premiers Penrith the following round. Jennings played 3 first-grade matches during his rookie campaign, recording 1 try, 2 line breaks, and 9 tackle breaks. He was replaced by Jai Gray after leaving the field against Newcastle. Gray later scored South Sydney's final try as the Rabbitohs held off a late night's comeback. Jennings is now facing an extended recovery, with Bennett's update leaving little prospect of the teenager returning before the end of the season.